All right, good morning, majors. I'm going to go the practice test today, and hopefully you guys will be able to follow through and get it done for the test. So the first one is, which is the best solution set for this equation? They gave you the square root of x minus 6 plus 8 equals to 5. So whenever you have questions like this, just go ahead and use Desmos and graph it. So I'm going to open Desmos. All right, as you guys can see, I opened Desmos, and all you have to do is just put the whole equation in. And if you guys remember what Mr. Quartain said, is put each one side as one equation and this as in one equation. So you're just going to put it in y equals the square root of x minus 6, x minus 6, and plus 8, right? Plus 8. And then the next equation will be y equals to five. Sorry, sneezing. So I got the two graphs together, and then where the two intersect will be your solution. So when I look at my graph, I need to see how y equals to 5 is this blue line. The graph is going to be going, starting from here, going up. So do you see these two graph intersect at any point? Because the y equals 5 is a horizontal line. This graph starts from this and keeps going up, so they don't intersect. So your solution for this would be the empty set. There's no solution. So for number 1, you are gonna put no solution, which is A. Okay. All right, let's look at number 2. All right, it says, which is the simplest radical form of square root of 27 plus 3 the square root of 3 minus 12, right? So every time you're given a number inside a square root, you want to write it in the simplest form. So I want to know what would be my prime factor for 27. So I know it goes in with 3 and 9, and then this would be 3 times 3. So this would be my, but this cannot be simplified. My prime factors for square root of 27 is 3 squared times 3, right? So I left it as square because this is a square root. I know this can come out. And then I'm going to do 12. 12 would be by 2, 6, by 2, 3, right? So this is also, I can write it. So the square root of 27 is this one, which I can write it as 3, the square root of 3, because this comes out as one pair. And then the square root of 12 is going to be the square root of 2 squared times 3, right? So this can come out, right? And then I'll just leave what I have, plus 3 the square root of 3, that's what is given, and then minus 2 the square root of 3. So since all three of them have square root of 3, square root of 3, square root of 3 inside and the square root, then I can easily combine the coefficient, which is 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 minus 2 is 4. So the answer would be 4 square root of 3. Because I'm adding 3 plus 3 is 6, minus 2 is 4. All right. All right. This is which is the simplest, which is the simplified form of the following expression, right? So this is the cube root. Now everything that I have need to come out in terms of 3's, right? So the first thing I'll do is I'll just take 24 and factor 24, right? I know 24 2 times 16, right? No, not 2 times 16, 2 times 12, sorry. Or you can do 3 times 8, whichever one you guys can see. 3 times 8, and then this is 2 times 4, and this is 2 times 2, right? So these are my prime factor. These are my prime factor. So when I put it inside the radical, I'm going to try to see what is divisible by 3. So I'm going to put 2 cubed times 1, 3. And when I write x to the power of 7, I'm going to write it as x6 times 1x, because I need a number that's going to be divisible by 3, right? 7 cannot be divisible by 6. So I write it this way. Y6 can be written as y6. But Z11, I can write it as Z9 times Z2. Whatever left over, right? So now all these numbers can come out of the cube root. This can come out as 1, 2. This can come out as x squared, right? 6 divided by 3 is 2. This can come out as y squared. This can come out as z cubed, because 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, so this is 2 to the power of 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so I have x squared. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so y squared. 9 divided by 3 is 3, so z to the power of 3. Then whatever left over, right? 3 is left, x is left, z squared is left. Okay, that's what we have to do. All right. Number 4. Which is not an equivalent form of the following expression. So remember, this 1/2 means I can write it as 4 over 9, or I can write it as the square root of 4 over the square root of 9, which can be simplified as 2 over 3. So this is a different way that I can write it, right? So which one doesn't match? Which one is not one of these 3 is what you have to pick. Okay? All right, number 5. Assuming all the variables represent positive real numbers, which expression is equivalent? You're multiplying, right? Every time we multiply, we can multiply, since they're both square root, I can multiply the number with the number. So 10 times 2 is 20, right? A to the power of 3 times a to the power of 6 is a to the power of 9, and still in the square root, right? So can this be simplified, right? It's a square root, so I'm going to take 20 and see what I can do. 2 times 10, 2 times 5. These are my prime factor, right? So I can write it as 2 squared times 5. And this to be divisible by 2, I can write it as 8. A to the power of 8 times 1a. When you multiply, it still gives you 1/9. So what can come out? This can come out. This can come out as a to the power of 4. So 2a to the power of 4 square root of 5a would be something that was left inside. Okay, number 6 is, are they equal? Okay, using the graphing calculator, what is the solution? Put both of them inside. Y equals to this, y equals to this in decimal. So I'll show you how we can do it. All right, so I'm going to do the cube root of 2x minus 6. So for those of you still struggle to put in, you just click function. And if you go to the miscellaneous, you can find the radicals that you can make it into any roots. So this one is 2x minus 6. And then you will do the next one as y equals to, because the solution will be where the two graph intersect. The same thing, you go to function, cube root of negative x plus 3. Okay, so once you get to do this, this would be where the two intersect, 3 and 0. Okay, you see that both graphs, they would intersect at positive 3 and 0. So you go back to your graph, and then x is going to be 3 as your solution. Okay, which is C. All right, number 4, what is the solution set for this? So the same thing, you're gonna go open up your Desmos, and do the same thing. 1 is gonna be y equals to the first equation. So instead of the cube root, it'll be the fourth root of what was the equation? 9 plus x, right? 9 plus x. And then the next equation will be just the 1. Okay, so I put this as one equation, the 1/4. Oh, this might not be the fourth root. It's just, sorry, it's just 1/4. 1 divided by 4. It doesn't have any. Checking what's the square root of 9 plus x. X, and delete this. Oh, sorry, I delete everything. 9 plus x. All right, that's the graph. So 1/4 of 9 plus x, and then the other one will be x, y equals to 1. So when you look at the graph, this is the graph. Where do they both intersect? It looks like this is where it both intersect. But this is the graph where y equals to 1, right? So where it does it crosses that line, it's going to be as. And then if you really want to see it, you can make it bigger and just drag it in where the two intersect, and you can see that they both intersect at 1. X is 7 and 1, right? So the solution is going to be 7 for your x. So you're just going to pick C for this one. Okay. Number 8. Which graph best represent h of x equals negative 3x minus 1. So just remember, without even putting it in decimals, I can see this is the horizontal shift. That means I'm going left 2, right? Left 3, I'm sorry. And then the negative 1 is a vertical shift. That means I'm going 1. And then the negative makes it flip. So I know it's not A, right? It looks like it's B. I know it's not C, or I don't know what D is. It's not D, definitely not D, because the positive 3 takes it left, right? So if this wasn't negative, A would have been the choice, but because it's a negative, it would be B. But if you are in doubt, just put this in Desmos, and you guys will be able to see it with no problem. All right, number 9. So I have 75x cubed minus 27x cubed in a square root. So remember, for me to add or subtract any of the radicals, they need to be in the same radical, right? So what I will do is take 75 and try to find the prime factor, and then take 27 and try to find the prime factor. So I will do by 5 will give me 25, right? Then 5 times 5, that's my prime factor. 5 cubed gives you 75. 5 times 5 times 5. And just to verify. Yep. Oh, no, it doesn't. 75 divided by 5 is, 15. Ooh. Not 15. So it would be 3 times 5. Sorry, guys. And then this would be 3 times 9. And then 3 and 3. That's my prime factor, right? So since it's a square root, it comes as a pair. So the first one, I'll put it as 5 squared times 3. And then my x cubed, I'm going to put it as x squared times x. Okay? Then minus, I have 3 cubed, so I just going to write it as 3 squared and 1 3, and x squared and 1x. So what can come out of the square root? This can come out, this can come out, this can come out, and this can come out. So I have 5x, the square root of 3x, minus 3x, the square root of 3x. So since what I have inside the square root is the same, all I have to do is 5x minus 3x. So what is 5x minus 3x? It would give you 2x, right? 2x. And then what is inside the square root stays the same. So that's what I have. Awesome. Number 10. All right, select the two answers choice that are equivalent to this expression. So I have, so just knowing this is a cube and then this is a square, it's kind of difficult to do it. So they have it in oh, there's gave me so many choices. So the first one is the cube root of a to the power of 8. And the second one is the square root of b cubed, right? So I can take this out as, for example, a to the power of 6 and a squared. So this is going to be, because okay, let's see. So let's do it this way because they both don't have the same denominator. So if I multiply both, if I multiply both by and